Hey guys, alright? How's it going? And it's Brett from IBMA here. I thought I'd show you today, you might be thinking what kind of weird concoction have I got here today. Well, it's not some kung fu medicine, but might be something similar. Today I've got some kombucha, and I was going to show you guys quickly how to make it. So, in case you don't know what it is, or you think, oh no, he's joined the freaking health food fad, you know, kombucha is just a fermented tea, and it's been drunk all over the world for, well, probably thousands of years, but it's also good if you want probiotics, if you want a bit of healthy gut stuff, and you can't drink milk like me. So if you can't have milk, then you're sort of screwed. Probiotics are really expensive, and kombucha is really expensive. So yeah, in the interest of good health for you all, and if you follow the channel and stuff, and you want to just, you know, try and get some health benefits or try and copy what I'm doing or whatever, well, here's how you make your kombucha. So anyway, it's really easy to make, and all you got to do is you got to make this first. Now the stage to make this is basically the stage to make your real kombucha. So once I tell you how to do that, you'll know how to make this. But basically what you have to do first, you have to grow the mold. You have to grow the yeasty bacteria organism thing. And if I can do it, then anyone can do it, yeah? Okay, because I'm used to just doing martial arts stuff and hitting things and kicking and remembering sets and forms and shit, and yeah, maybe I investigate into things a little bit, but I'm no like scientist, alright? So if I can do this, then anyone can, alright? So anyway, I'll make this, and then I'll explain. So first, what you need to do is you clean out a container really clean, because as you know, if you're working with molds or yeast, or if you're encouraging bacteria to grow, you have to clean things. So this is a real clean, just jar. I don't know, whatever size you want. This is, I don't know, maybe a liter or nearly 2 liter, maybe nearly a 2 liter jar. Yeah, so it's all good. So I'm going to be using green tea because I've got it in abundance. So I filtered some water, I boiled it, and I chucked it in here, yeah? I'm going to be using green tea. But anyway, first what we want to do is you can use any sugar that you want, but I've got some of this brown, this is all that I've got, this like brown coffee tea sugar stuff. So I've got a little jug here. So I'm going to try and get, how the hell is the best way to do this? Oh geez, I don't know, oh yeah, smaller spoon. So I'm going to get some of this and chuck it in here. And this is what your kombucha is going to live on. Yeah, he needs the sugar, he needs it. Yeah. So basically you've got to make, unfortunately, you've got to make a first ferment, and then you've got to use that to make your kombucha. Now I hope you can make kombucha with this brown sugar. I must admit I've not tried before. Usually last time I made it with white, but I'm sure brown's fine. So anyway, there we go, there's my cup of brown sugar. I'm going to throw that in there. Yeah, it's all good. I'm going to add a bit more of my hot water. I'm not adding too much. I'm going to use my clean spoon and give it a rinse. Use my clean spoon to stir it up. Now, like I said, you can be real fancy and use organic sugar and all sorts that they recommend, or I'm sure you can use white sugar. I'm using brown sugar. Probably brown sugar is probably better actually. Look, it's already given it like a browny caramelly kind of look, which is pretty good. So awesome. There we go. Alright, now it's going to get even browner now, because I'm going to take my 4 tea bags. This is just straight up shop brought green tea, Twinnings. Here it is for you. There's a camera. Twinnings, green tea. I'm just going to chuck it all in. I probably don't need these bits of cardboard, but 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 4. Just get 4 in there. tea going on in there, and it should be pretty hot, so that, like, you know, still strains of tea. So I'll put 4 in there. I don't know if I want to go for 5 maybe. Let me put a bit more water. Alright, so the first time I did this, what are we on minutes wise? 5 minutes. The first time I did this, I just used normal sugar, white sugar. Yeah. Okay, so basically, you get yourself to this point. This is if you're doing it for the first time. You get to yourself to this point. Yeah. Then you let it cool down. That's important because you don't want to kill the little microorganisms. So you let it cool down. Then you go to the shop and you just buy yourself a kombucha and drink most of it and leave like a cup. You can even leave a teaspoon. It's up to you. But maybe half a cup and a bit more than a teaspoon. Give them a bit more chance. But freaking drink your kombucha. Get a nice, you know, good quality one. Leave yourself half a cup. That's what I did. So when I first did this, I did this. There's sugar in there. There's tea in there. It's all good. I left it to cool down till it was about 25 degrees or 30 degrees, you know. Sort of body temperature. You don't want it to be too much warmer than that because of the little enzymes and little bugs denature. So you let it cool down, then you add your kombucha in the top, give it a stir, put like a piece of cloth over it. See, this thing here, I've just got a piece of like dishing cloth rag and a piece of cling film plastic. I just wrapped it over because it has to have air. See, don't cut it off. It has to have air. So it's all air, it's all good. And then in about a month, so after about a month of that, just set it on the side or whatever, you'll have this. Yeah? Yeah, so there's a little slime at the top there. I don't know if you can see him. And that's called a Scooby. Yeah? And that's the kombucha mold, well, yeast and not mold, sorry, yeast and good bacteria. Don't want any mold in there, because mold's no good. But anyway, so that's lived up there for a few months. So yeah, once this cools down, so hopefully this makes sense. So you follow this stage to make this, yeah? And then you might think, well, this is kombucha, why can't I drink this? Well, apparently I don't know why you can't. So you've got to make this to make this, to make kombucha. So once this gets to that in about a month, all you've got to do is do this stage again. Hopefully that makes sense. So you're going to make another batch of tea, just like this, with, you know, whatever tea bags you want in there, white tea, oolong tea, whatever kind of tea you want, just a normal tea. So you make this again, you put your sugar in, and then again you let it cool. If you want it to cool a bit quicker after about 10 minutes of steeping, you can chuck some cold water in there or whatever. But anyway, now the last stage left of this, so if this was the first stage, I'd put this aside, I'd put a lid on it, an aerated lid, I'd leave it. Yeah? Hopefully this is making sense. Just trying to recap on it constantly so people like understand that, you know, you make this and it turns into that. Yeah. Then when you've got that, you make this again, let it cool, and now the only thing I have to do from here is, well, they say you get another little bit of kombucha and add it in, but all I'm going to do, because you want it to be a bit acidic, is I'm going to add the liquid from here. So I'm going to add a cup. I'm going to add a cup of liquid from already in here, because that liquid's already full of microorganisms and it's already slightly acidic. But apparently you can use spirit vinegar, I don't know. So I'm going to pour that in there, yeah, because that's kombucha culture. I'm going to pour it in there, and then I'm going to scoop this little mold with some tweezers off the top. I'm going to put them in the top there when it's cool. And again, I'm going to replace this lid, this little film, onto this one. And then I leave that for about a week, and you can test it and taste it. And I've got these little taps here that I can press to see. But yeah, I mean, I'll give you guys a progress update. But yeah, that's basically how it works. And then I'll have some nice kombucha. which I can then experiment with flavouring and stuff like that, and it'll be good. Now this is my first batch of kombucha that I've made, but the mould bit's gone well. The little kombucha dude, Scooby or whatever they call him, he's gone well. Got my tea steeping here. So it should all be good, guys, and I don't see why it should fail. I used to actually make my own homemade Greek yogurt as well, so I'm not alien to the idea of making these sort of cultures and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, a bit of a strange, different thing coming from my channel, but there we go. Give it a try, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. I don't think I've left any points out. No, that's everything. So I'll just do those last stages and probably chuck a photo up, and it's all good. So anyway, enjoy. So alrighty, here's the last bit. The final bit of making the kombucha. So that's cooled down to a nice 30 something degrees or whatever, or cold enough that it won't kill the little bacterias in there. Try it with my finger, it's probably not a good idea. Alright, so now I'm going to put, here's a glass of the other kombucha batch. I'm going to maybe put a glass of that in there. Give that a sniff. Whew! Now that smells like apple cider vinegar. I wonder what it tastes like. God knows what it tastes like. But anyway. Hopefully this is still not too warm. There's a stupid hair in there. Get rid of that. Put that in there. Alrighty, so I'll put a bit more. Put about a glass. In you go. Glass of that. Here we go. Glass of the original batch. Finally, so here's my kombucha from before. Sorry, here's my my little mould, or whatever you want to call them. I'll take the lid off, get the tweezers, get the slime off of there. Let's get him out of there. There we go. And the good thing is he'll fit. He'll fit exactly in the other one. Just need to grab a corner. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Geez, that's interesting. Look at that. Yeah, it's like a little slimy. So I'll put that in here. There we go. Oh, it's weird. I thought it would float. It just kind of sinks to the bottom. Oh, come on. I want it to float, really. Oh, there we go. And there we go. I did actually think it would float, but it seems to sink. So that's a new one to me, but there we go.